The UI and home screen is basically the same as previous iterations, but it has gotten an overhaul in a different sense, and that is the screen size and the resolution. If you tap the top corner here, home, my books, my collections, articles, Kobo store, recommended wishlist, activity settings, help, you have my books, related reads, buy, borrow, or preview books down below, articles from Pocket, the books that you're currently reading right now, percentages read, and you have all the brightness, Wi-Fi, battery, syncing, and search settings up at the top. A small note, when you're in the search, you can actually search for anything, anywhere, on both the store, Overdrive, your own books, annotations, dictionary, and more. Looking at your library or My Books is where you're going to spend most of your time before you get into the books. So you have things like filters that filter all reading, previews, imported, downloaded to really give you a sense of organizing. You can organize by title, author, series, file type. You have little 3 dots here that give you some more information. Cover view, manage books, you can click that, and that actually sends you to the cover view, so it's like you're looking at a bookshelf. Not filing, of course, but covers facing out. You also have authors, and you have collections, and this is very easy. All you do is create a collection and just say books. Obviously, you'll come up with something more imaginative than me. Then you can simply just add the books to your collection, click create, and under your books collection, you now have all of the titles you have added. Another nice feature is being able to long press on something, and this gives you the ability to read now, view details, add to collection, mark as unread, mark as finished, and remove. You can see our dedicated video on this, but borrowing from your library is super easy. You can see I clicked on my Vancouver Public Library. You can basically just click on anything, and instead of buying it or previewing now, the 3 dots over here allows you to borrow it with Overdrive. What it does is simply connects to the Overdrive server, and you've checked it out. And within a matter of, I don't even know how long that was, 10 seconds, you've actually borrowed and downloaded the book. You can then click on it and start reading away. So this is a good way to get a lot of value out of this without always having to buy $12.99 books. Now that we're in a book, let's check out a book. So if you tap on the center, you get some information here. You get home, search, table of contents, which works very well. You can just whip over to something anytime you want. We'll get to text in a second. You get reading settings. This allows you to invert the physical page turn buttons, choose the on-screen controls, and some technical stuff right there. You can pause the video at any moment if you want to check that out. You also have some reading statistics, and this is really cool because you get some graphs of how many chapters, hours left to go, next chapter, minutes to go, percentage read. And you have related reads, which connects you to the Kobo store. Clicking on the 3 dots gives you a list of annotations, write a review, dictionary, reading settings, etc. Let's look at the text. All you do is click on the AA button, and you can change the font face. You can change the font size, the line spacing, the margin. Everything changes live. You even have advanced. Advanced is really nice because you can choose a before and after of what you want your book to look like. You click apply and it applies it to the entire book. We also have justification left, centered, and off. If we long press on something like so, you get some information here. This will give you highlight, add note. This will give you in-book, Wikipedia, Google, and you have Facebook as well. If you click on something like sausage, for example, you get an English dictionary, and you also get all the dictionaries here, and there's many on this drop down menu, and it's kind of like to and froms, so it's very versatile in terms of the dictionary experience. You can also change pages 3 ways: swiping, tapping, or pressing the physical page turn buttons, and they actually use this from their Kobo Aura 1 32GB limited edition in the sense where you can whip through the book lightning speed, and nothing flashes or refreshes until you finally let go. All the staining goes away and you're left with a perfect image. Unlike the Kindle Oasis, the Kobo Forma has the ability to not only flip portrait-wise, but can actually flip landscape as well. And no other e-reader really does this outside of using third-party applications on some open Android devices, but this is pretty fantastic, and once it gets going, it's pretty quick. Now, you might be thinking that could be annoying, and I understand, but they actually thought about that, and they have both a portrait and landscape lock. This doesn't entirely lock the gyroscope because you can still switch between portrait or landscape respectively, but not when you lock the screen, as you can see we're demonstrating right here. Articles from Pocket is also very useful and very easy to use. As you can see here, you have a welcome box, and we also just added a Good e-reader ebook and audio thumbnail from my cell phone, so all you have to do is click on that, and in 1 second you're able to read the article, and then you can open in browser to extend your reading pleasure by jumping straight to the article that you had saved. And there's good old Mike right there. This device reads manga exceptionally well. Given the size of the screen, it's almost the exact same as you holding an actual manga in your hand. They also have, from their Kobo Aura 1 limited edition, the quick page turn speed, which actually just whizzes through the book at lightning speeds and doesn't dilute the image a whole lot, so you can actually still see what's going on. It does take a second to render, but once it does, you're totally in the clear. Now, what we have found that with the resolution and the high screen size, you don't really have to zoom in, but you can see that if you do, it does take a little bit of time because this is an e-reader first and foremost, but once it zooms in and fully renders, it looks absolutely stunning. You can double tap to get out to the full screen, you can swipe, you can tap. Now, there's no ability to do panel view or long press or anything like that, so it's simply just a manga reader, but it looks fantastic. The store experience, again, is more of the same, but if you are joining us as a first-time Kobo purchaser, then you'd want to watch this. So this is recommended just for you. You see you have a little bit of a carousel here. This is really nice. It's a very nice effect. You can click on something and it leads you to the book itself. You can do a preview now. You can press the 3 dots to borrow with overdrive if it is available in your local library, and you can see that unlike the Kindle where everything is on one column, you actually have tabs, which is very nice and very organized. You have reviews, related, synopsis, and more. We'll just touch on this for a second. This has a pin lock on it, and a lot of people always ask if an e-reader has a pin lock, so the Kobo Forma does, and outside of Android e-readers, this is not on all devices. Their award system is still alive and well. Think of these as quests or badges you can kind of strive for to complete more and more as you go along. This one is read at the same time 5 different days to unlock this, and so forth. So you can see some are in progress and some are already completed. The Kobo Forma does have a lot of blues in the screen. They're not necessarily blue LEDs, they're just whiter LEDs. Now there is a way to rectify this, and it's a very nice way as well. You can see it has a natural light, which allows you to choose orange or red tones to your lighting needs. But unlike some e-readers that have 2 rows of LEDs that either go on when they're blue or on when they're orange, you can actually turn all of them on at the same time by triggering anything in the middle of the sunlight or the moon. So you can actually choose a very nice, pure kind of stone white like that. And this comes in handy because not only is the light distribution perfect, you can actually do your own white balancing, so to speak. And if you swipe down on the left side of the screen, up or down, you can see that we can change the light levels without even going to the menu. The Kobo Forma, as it is so very obvious that it was inspired by the Kindle Oasis 2 with its double page turn and the side bezel, as well as the gyroscope that allows you to change directions and orientations on the fly. Although unlike the Kindle Oasis 2. This is actually cheaper. You can lock the orientation, and it's more accessible in Canada to us, and you can use overdrive on it in Canada. So this has a lot of things going for it, and it's a bigger screen too. So for Goody Reader and a review of the Kobo Forma 2018 October release, this is the brand new one, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. If you want to see any other videos or anything we missed, let us know.